Good morning and welcome to the Inside Edge. I'm Zach Blackburn. Today is Friday, February 20th. I'm reading a biography with a few friends, and I came across a story that I found interesting. In it, the president, who has a stranglehold on his party essentially, freezes funding for a huge infrastructure project that links into Manhattan. Uh, it's for reasons that are at least publicly pretty vague, unclear. Uh, the freeze sparks a pretty big battle in the press as well as national backlash, especially from his opposition, who say that the move blocks a huge economic driver for the region, what will end up being a huge economic driver for the region. And even some of the president's allies expressed dismay, even if it's not to the same extent that his oppositions did. Um, this is, of course, what Franklin Roosevelt did in the 1930s with the Triborough Bridge when he wanted to remove Robert Moses from his seat on the Triborough Commission because of a personal grudge. Uh, Making my way through the power broker, no spoilers. But I think that this story is worth talking about today because it shows that while history rhymes, the motivations and consequences that a president faces today have changed a lot since the New Deal. The Gateway freeze hasn't captured the same type of public attention that the Triborough freeze did, for example, not least because of the fact that there's a lot going on this year, as well as just changing media consumption habits and changes in how people prioritize what issues they focus on. Uh, but still, President Donald Trump in his second term has shown himself to be a bit more resistant in terms of giving into public opinion. FDR gave up on his Triborough crusade essentially after national public pressure built, including from a fellow Democrat, Governor Al Smith, former Governor Al Smith. Uh, Today, there's one major Republican from North Jersey, Congressman Tom Kean Jr., who said he hopes the project continues. But other than that, there aren't many Republicans with major clout from gateway affected areas. And that could end up being, as Joey Fox reported last week, a albatross for Republicans in New Jersey, especially from regions who are affected by the gateway freeze. Uh, the gateway issue is also further complicated by the fact that, at least publicly, it's not completely clear what the president wants from the standoff. The reasoning has changed a couple of times. At first, it was reported at one point that President Trump wants New York's Penn Station renamed after him. The president said that came up, but he just kind of brushed that aside. The president has also said that he's worried about the project going over budget. The project, according to officials, had been staying at budget. And Trump administration hasn't really given further details on where those concerns come from, but still what the president is citing nonetheless. At the time of the freeze last fall, Democrats understood essentially they thought it was retribution for the looming government shutdown. And ultimately, all these different reasons come together. Ultimately, Trump has repeatedly indicated that he has frozen it for pretty partisan reasons, including his personal distaste for Chuck Schumer and the fact that he thinks Democrats are, quote, foolish. The courts will decide if Trump has the authority to freeze that funding in the end. In the short term, Mikey Sherrill and Kathy Hochul of New York have won and resumed funding, at least temporarily, as their legal challenge to the freeze makes its way through the courts. But if Gateway goes the way of Triborough, it will be finished, and it will be a boon for years to come. We'll see. I'll end with this quote from 1935, when, during the height of his standoff with Robert Moses, FDR asked, "Isn't the President of the United States entitled to one personal grudge?" Thanks, and have a good day.